All right, we should be back live streaming. For those of you who were unaware, we were going to roll around and do non-player characters again. So we are here again. I'm going to let YouTube catch up with us and let people join the live stream. I'm sure that there's a lot of people out there who want to make non-player characters, so I'm hoping that they are able to join us for today. Okay, so my suggestion to you is grab some food, some drink, make sure you are comfortable, get ready. I would suggest if you can, if you've got a pen and pencil or a piece of paper that you can jot things on, that might be very useful for you today. If you don't, try to remember stuff because you're going to need to do a little bit of work today because this is not just about me talking about stuff, okay? So what's going to happen here is I am going to do a presentation. If you've been part of this building non-player characters before, then you will have seen this slide and this presentation. It's only slightly changed from last time. I'm going to run a poll at the same time. For those of you who are a bit shy and don't want to comment in the comment section, you can just respond to that poll. Once you select something, you can't change it. Just remember that. And then I'm going to do my presentation and then I'm going to open it up. And we'll do Q&A, but actually what we're really there for is not so much for Q&A. We're going to try to go straight in to actually making a non-player character. Last time we did this, we made 2, of which you'll find it's all up on Patreon. I actually managed to get it all sorted out, and one of the subscribers made an image for one of those NPCs. So that was quite nice. So if you have been part of this particular presentation before and you know what's coming, I want you to do some homework. Your homework is a non-player character name, okay, ideals, bonds, flaws, motivation, appearance, very important. Those are the sorts of things I want you to sort of start nailing down and have them either jotted down on a piece of paper so we can work them in when we do the open discussion. All right, let's get on with the show, shall we? There we go. There's our friend. Hi, welcome to How to D&D. My name is Fred Weller, and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. Primarily because I'm always talking about Dungeons and Dragons. Today is a Dungeon Master Preparation Day. This is lesson 2. I've done this before. This is building a non-player character or an NPC, for those of you who are unsure what that is. That's the intention. So what are we actually going to cover? The overview for today is I'm going to give you some quick non-player character tools. We're going to cover building non-player characters, creating the name for your non-player character, creating the motivations, developing some aspects for that non-player character, selecting the NPC's appearance or developing that in some way, constructing an NPC stat block, although we're going to probably be taking a very short, quick way of doing that, although I'm going to give you some tools that can actually allow you to build something for yourself, and then some miscellaneous recommendations, because I usually do some sort of miscellaneous recommendation. The objectives today is to explain how to build non-player characters for your Dungeons & Dragons game or your roleplay game. We're going to do some demonstrations, so we will actually build at least one non-player character, possibly more, and you will participate. I can't bring you into the stream, but you're going to use the chat to give me as much feedback as you possibly can. Now, one of the big tools that I've been using is D&D Beyond. Backgrounds are a big factor for me in terms of non-player character development and actually building them. So for Dungeons & Dragons 5e, one of the best things they ever did was provide players with backgrounds, but it's also a Dungeon Master tool, and it's available on D&D Beyond for those of you who want access to it. Okay, let's talk about how we're going to go about creating those quick non-player characters, because there are a couple of tools that you might find extremely useful in your game, and I'm going to go over them relatively quickly. The easiest way to actually craft a non-player character is to get someone else to do it. Okay, make it for you in advance. And the Game Master's Book of Non-Player Characters has hundreds of pages of ready-made non-player characters that you can utilize if you want to. There's also the Pathfinder's NPC Codex. It's full of pre-made non-player characters. There is a lot of stat block stuff there, so the problem with that is you're going to wind up buying a book that has mechanics for a game you may not be playing, okay, unless of course you are playing Pathfinder. Any published adventure has heaps of non-player characters that you can steal. So steal them as much as you like. The internet is full of non-player character generators that make non-player characters with the push of a button in just seconds. There is a website called NPC Generator. I don't particularly like it myself because I don't have enough control over it, but you would be able to generate many NPCs very quickly if you need to. The Game Master's Book of Random Encounters, which is different to the Game Master's Book of Non-Player Characters. So the Random Encounters book has a percentile table. That means there's 100 different options that randomly give you aspects of a non-player character. Their name, their first name, their equipment, so forth. And then we also have the Game Master's Book of Non-Player Characters, which doesn't just have pre-made NPCs, but there are some random tables in there that you can utilize as well. So lots of different ways that we can actually deal with getting our NPCs developed very quickly without too much work and not stressing too much. Now, for those of you who don't like the idea of using pre-mades and you want to actually build your own, we're going to cover that. And I'm going to give you what I do, and then you will adjust that method to suit yourself, okay? So the first thing I'm going to say is I always start with the non-player character name. It's a good and easy starting point for everything, so that's where we're going to go. Now, I know for some people, creating names is difficult. I find that difficult myself. So I'm going to suggest a couple of different things, and you can utilize the ones that you like. A non-player character name is probably the most important step in my opinion. So I've used many different electronic name generators. There is a website called Fantasy Name Generator, and it gives you everything, not just fantasy names, but different cultures. It is one of the best resources for creating names if you need that sort of thing. There's nothing wrong actually with just using standard names that you know, or exotic names of people that you have met or you know. So any kind of standard name of a person that you've met in the past, or an exotic name and you've met them or you know of them, use that. Okay, it's not taking the piss out of them. It's not bad in any way. It's not difficult to make a list of non-player character names. Okay, once you get started and you start creating names, you'll find that a list of non-player character names is hugely useful, even if it's just the names and nothing else. Even the first name is good enough, because you'll use them later on. So create that list and then put it aside for when you need it. Using the sample names offered in the player's handbook for the race section, each race, I think, except for the human, each race has various names. Now that would be male and female first names, and then usually family names or clan names or whatever it is. Then you can also draw from popular culture, names from books, comics and movies that you like, include them. Also, Xanathar's Guide to Everything has a long list of names. That book is full of them. Now it goes from pages 175 through to 192, and it's just a big, huge list of names that you can utilize. And so I suggest you check it out, particularly if you're getting stuck and you like to do things on paper rather than electronically. This brings us on to the next step, which is dealing with our non-player character motivations. It's all very well having an aim, but we need to actually have them have a motivation in our world and a motivation with regards to the characters. The motivation of any non-player character is absolutely vital, because that's what portrays and also interacts with the player's characters. So the easiest way is to pull a simple motivation from real life that you think will fit. Okay, there are plenty of motivations that people have in real life that you can utilize and just port over into your NPC. There is a motivation table for villains and NPCs that can also be found in the Game Master's Guide for pretty much any roleplay game. Any game that you're playing, whether it's Dungeons and Dragons or it's Pathfinder, there's usually a motivation table for villains and NPCs. The Dungeon Master Guide for Dungeons & Dragons 5e actually does have a table on page 94, and this also gives you villain objectives and motivations. It's not going to give you standard generic stuff for NPCs. I would say it's mostly just villain objectives and motivations. The Pathfinder Game Mastery book, if you've got that book, on page 94, it has a list of non-player character goals, literally like standard goals for any NPC, not specifically the big bad. And one of those are going to be useful to you. Also remember, once you give the character a designation or an occupation, usually their motivation is easy to figure out from there on. Which leads us into the next thing that we need to talk about, and that would be aspects, like the different aspects of your character that you're creating for the game. But before I do that, I'm going to have a drink of water. Okay, let us continue. Right, the depth of any kind of non-player character is created by giving them certain things. Now, the things that we want to look at with regard to that is going to be their function. Often their function is something like their occupation. Not always, but often it is. Personality traits, might be better to just give them one personality trait unless you need it to be a very complicated character. Then go with ideals, bonds, flaws, and sometimes a secret. Sometimes it's good to give a non-player character a secret. Not every non-player character needs to have a secret. Okay. The Dungeon Master's Guide on page, that's for 5e that is, on page 89 through to 91, you'll find a lot of information that will allow you to do quite a lot. And also on page 96, it has small tables for non-player character characteristics. So if you're trying to develop that sort of stuff, there's a whole bunch of stuff there. Well, I'd say it's not a big chart. It's a small table. A very easy way to develop non-player character aspects is by selecting a background actually from the player's handbook for Dungeons & Dragons 5e. And what you do is you select a background that fits the NPC that you have. Now you can then randomly roll or select the personality traits, ideals, bonds and flaws from the tables presented, or create your own. It's up to you. The first Dungeon Master screen for Dungeons & Dragons 5e also had a table on the first panel that randomly generated names and your non-player character aspects if you are interested. You can also, if you like, pick yourself up some Rory story cubes, and I would suggest rolling between 1 and 6 Rory story cubes, and that will assist you in inspiring you and giving you ideas for creating the different non-player character aspects, and you're using the pictures on the cube to actually figure out what that will be. Now, if you're not the sort of person who finds that useful, or you find it difficult to take an image and turn it into a word or a concept, then maybe that's the wrong technique for you. But it is a way of doing it. It was first presented as a method by Sly Flourish or Mike Shea. The Pathfinder Game Mastery book on page 94 to 99 has a huge list of non-player character rewards, secrets, occupations, personality characteristics, and backgrounds. I find this to be some of the best stuff I've ever seen out there, and that is Pathfinder 1st Ed Edition Game Mastery Guide, not the 2nd Ed Edition. Right, so we've done our aspects, but there's no point having an NPC without dealing with the thing that most people actually want to have, and that is, it's a picture. We need to have an image, right? We need to have their appearance. So the non-player character appearance, what a non-player character actually looks like, really helps define what they are on the surface level. Maybe not inside, but on the surface level, their depiction is actually very, very useful when you have what they look like. But it's not actually vital, just really useful, okay? So you don't absolutely have to have it, but it is useful. If you don't have time to find a picture for your non-player character, or anything, you can't find anything that will actually match, then you can create one. And what I would do is create one important physical characteristic or feature that makes them stand out. Like that's the thing that makes them them. And if you have access to the internet, then you can probably find hundreds of non-player character portraits on Pinterest, the ArtStation, DeviantArt, stuff like that, Google Images, all that sort of stuff. Like there's a bucket load. The problem with looking for a specific picture or image for your non-player character is it can often be a trap. and it will suck away all of your time. And I've done this myself, where I just lost all of my prep time to just trying to find the perfect NPC. It may well be better, if you want to start with the picture, to find the picture and build the NPC based off the picture you find, rather than going the other way around. Pathfinder and similar roleplay games have decks of face cards. Now, these basically are cards that have an image, and they might have some information on that NPC or non-player character. Okay, it's like a non-player character, small non-player character portrait. It is still, again, a bit of a trap, because trying to find the perfect picture to fit the NPC that you're trying to have a vision for might not work. So don't use it unless you're doing it this way, and that is, I'll start with the image and then build the NPC based off the image, rather than going, I'll start with the NPC and then I'll try to find the image to fit. It's probably the wrong way around. You can also draw a picture of your non-player character, particularly if that's an option to you. If you feel confident in your drawing skills, go for it. I know a lot of people find that very difficult, which is fine. If you're not artistic, then don't do that. There is also another option for those of you who haven't potentially considered this, and that is, there is Midjourney. This is artificial intelligence. And I haven't actually mentioned it in the slide, but artificial intelligence allows you to put in information, and it then will spit out an image as it goes through the artificial server, and it will process and come out with an image. Now, so you can try out that website. It's in beta, and I believe there are different paid versions, but you can also have the free version as well and try some stuff out. If you find that that's really not working for you, because you can wind up with an NPC that has multiple eyes in places you don't want them to be, or their body just doesn't look right at all, or it just doesn't look like what you wanted, another option might be to actually use HeroForge. Now, HeroForge is an online tool that allows you to go into the web browser, and then on their website you build your character based off all the different options that are available, and then you can then print it out as a three-dimensional printed miniature. But what it also does is it gives you an image, and you can capture that image and crop it, and then there you have your image. Now, it still will take you a lot of time to do that, because you have to build it from the different parts, and you may find that all the parts that you want aren't necessarily there. So it still is a time-consuming process. But if you're absolutely adamant you must have a picture, and you can't draw, and you can't find the right thing, then HeroForge might in fact be the solution to you. It was never designed to be used that way, but you can. All right. The last topic for today with regard to NPCs is, of course, the stat block. And I know that everybody's going to be like, okay, Fred, you've said everything else. What about the stat block? I want to know how to do that. There's actually nothing quick about building a non-player character stat block for combat, so I wouldn't bother. It's a waste of your time, so don't even go there. That would be my first advice. You can ignore it. I will give you some other options. Almost all role-playing games have a creature or monster book with generic stat blocks for commoners and combat NPCs. You'll find them in the back of the monster manual for 5e, and you'll probably find that they exist in other books as well for whatever role-play game you're playing. There's also, I would say, my go-to for any kind of NPC is definitely the monster manual for Dungeons & Dragons 5e, because it does have just a bunch of generic combat stats in the back there, including the commoner. The commoner is the one I want, because it doesn't do anything. It's just there, because we won't really need that stat block. In fact, if anything, you'll find that the stat block for an NPC is the least useful thing for you, okay, unless it's deliberately going to be going and being used in combat. And most of your NPCs, when you build them like this, aren't going to be used that way. Also, Dungeons & Dragons 5e has developed a thing called the sidekicks, and they have medium difficulty or medium complexity stat blocks, and you'll find the rules for that are actually in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. You'll also find not the complete rules for it, but a shortened version. I think it goes from level 1 to 6. In the Dungeons & Dragons Essentials kit, you'll find the rules for doing that. if you want to create a stat block for a sidekick, which could serve the purpose as the stat block for a non-player character. You'll also potentially find, if you're willing to hunt on the internet on the official Dungeons and Dragons website, you'll find there's an Unearthed Arcana, and in that Unearthed Arcana you'll find the original rules they put forward for sidekicks, but it's going to take you a bit of searching to find it, okay? If you want a more complex stat block for your Dungeons & Dragons 5e non-player character, and you want to kind of like partially build it, you can, okay? There is a website called RPG Tinker. That's RPG Tinker, Tinker. And that will actually allow you to do that. You can actually build a stat block for your non-player character if you absolutely must do so. I don't know if there's necessarily other tools out there for different roleplay games, but for 5e it does exist. Alright, so now that I've covered pretty much everything that you needed to hear, let's talk about some of the miscellaneous recommendations that I have for you for today. And that is, I would suggest a combination of all the methods and techniques that I have suggested to help you if you're struggling with making a non-player character. Don't just use one technique, use all of these techniques. If you don't get to use your non-player character, then just save it for another time. I know when we spend time on a non-player character, it can actually take quite a while to do it properly and to be satisfied with the end result. And then, of course, suddenly your players decide to kill that NPC and they haven't even uttered a word. Okay, this is leading on to my last point. Okay, it's possible the players will have their character kill your non-player character after you've spent a lot of time on it and you've invested all of this energy, and then they just kill it, butcher it, and it never uttered a word. It never got to do anything. And at this point, because it's never actually got you to do anything, you just duplicate it and put it somewhere else. Okay? The chances are they probably didn't even pay attention to the description of the character, and it's just another NPC on a long list of NPCs that have carked it in their campaign when they have been playing. So that is my advice with regard to dealing with any kind of NPC creation. Okay? Stick with the basics, use multiple methods, and try not to get stuck on one area, particularly the image creation. Now, I want to thank my patrons for allowing me to and assisting me to make sure I can actually do these classes for you, and also for everybody who watches my live streams and participates in them and watches my videos. I really do appreciate it. It makes a big difference. And I'm going to say it. Hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s. Okay, I'm heading back over. We'll come back to the chat. She's a bit quiet today. We're going to be making something. I'll just respond to the chat here. Looks like she's pretty quiet. Maybe too much of a good thing, eh? I mean, the fact is I did, 4 of them last week, which was way too many. The intention was always to only do one, so we kind of didn't come around too often. But anyway, that doesn't matter. We will still do this. Let's have a quick look at who we've got here. Jeeves, we've got Jeeves. Look, Jeeves, you're welcome. I'm hoping that whatever we create today you'll find useful, or you may at least not necessarily the first presentation side of things. I'm going to apologise now that the slideshow, the quality of the slideshow, the image itself was designed for 1920 by 1080, and because I'm actually broadcasting in 4K, so I'm live streaming in 4K. Yeah, I know. The image is not of a high enough quality to contend with that. So you will probably find that later on, when I have bucket loads of time, I'm going to have to recapture the images, because I actually will have to screenshot them and then crop them one at a time individually, because I can't just download them directly from the Google Slide app, because they come out at a very set, they come out at a set pixel rate, and I can't increase it for some reason. So if you notice sort of a degradation in the slideshow, particularly if you're watching in a higher resolution, that is the reason why. Okay. Tyler, hello. Thank you for the Curse of Strahd videos. You're welcome. Do I need to talk about more gothic monsters, or should I stick with Spelljammer for now? I mean, if anything, I would have to say the Spelljammer monsters have been very strange and very round. Most of them have been very round, I've noticed. Hi, JP. So Pinterest has always been a good source of NPCs and PC pictures for you. Well, like I said, it's good and it's bad, because you can spend way too much time there. Okay? That's what I have found, is I can spend way too much time there. I'm playing tomorrow with a unique character. Okay, cool. So just to give you an idea, the best way to support this particular program so it continues on, I want you to start getting your brains ticking along, people, because we're going to actually make an NPC in a second, even though my voice sounds like it's about to break. And we've got plenty of time to do so. As the best way to support it is on Patreon. You can pay as little as $1 a month, and you get everything that I upload to there. Okay, essentially that's the whole purpose of Patreon. I get most of the money too, and you get everything that I do. Another good way is obviously super chats and super stickers. I'm going to say today, if somebody super chats or super stickers $5 and you have an NPC that you want us to build, we will build it today here, right now. Okay? All right. But beside that, I'm going to have a drink of water. And we're going to shift over and start getting to work. And where are we, Fred? We're over here. That's the one I want. Let us pick up the capture screen. Capture screen is there. Got it. And then go back over here. All right. So, I think this worked out pretty well last time, where I just would type in hashtag and what I wanted to do. So we're going to start off with a name, unless of course somebody wants us to build them their NPC, and a $5 super chat or super sticker will guarantee that that's what we do. So that means that everything that we put in here you sign off on. But other than that, let's go with name. Hashtag, where are you? Hashtag name. Name an NPC. So we need you to start pumping in some various names. First name and second name would be great. Okay. Now while you're doing that, I'm actually going to grab a book. And I'm going to be... So I said the player's handbook had a whole lot of names in the races section, did I not? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look through here and look for some names that I can add in that I think would be suitable. So names. Let's just drop this down a bit. So you can see what's going on. And we'll put names. We'll underline, bold and underline. By the way, JP is one of my friends who plays in my home group. For those of you who don't know. You must not be that busy this week, JP. I would have thought you would be too busy to be hanging out with me while I do this sort of thing. Right, so I'm looking at races. We could look at dwarf. We could look at a dwarf character. JP, what do you got here? What type of NPC, villain, hero? No, we're not going type. We're not going type. All we're doing is starting with the name. Okay. In terms of its purpose and motivational function, that's a different question. So we're starting with the name, JP. Starting with the name. Don't get lost. All right, so I'm going to read out some names here. Hi Shiner, how's it going? Roland. Okay, there we go. There's a good name. We'll take that one to start with. And Roland Stormhammer. Okay, Roland Stormhammer. We will put that's our first name. I will pick a name that I kind of like the look of, and we'll just continue with that. While you guys are coming up with ideas, I'll read out a few names here. Now, I started with dwarfs last time, so I'm actually going to move to a different race, because I did dwarf last time. Let's see what the elves have to offer. That's more up your alley, JP, isn't it? Is elves. Ara, Brian, Dell. Yeah, fine. Dell. I suppose Dell isn't bad. That is a child's name. Then we've got male, female. Do I really like Dell? Not really. It doesn't really stand out to me. We'll look at something else instead. Himo. Himo is a male name. We made two females last time, didn't we? Gold Leaf Flyer. Hi, Pale Rider. How's it going? Is it Godleaf? No, it is Gold Leaf. Gold Leaf Flyer. All right. I'm looking through here, finding the name that I like. And we will go with... I think we're going to go with Himo. Varus. I think we had Varus not that long ago as a name that cropped up for something. So I'm going to go Himo. And I need a surname, so I'm going to look in the family names for elves. This is just out of the player's handbook. There's a whole bunch of names here, right? I mean, I could use an app or software, but I don't actually need to. I can just use that book, and it does most of the work for me. And so a common family name that I can actually pronounce, something I can actually use. Starflower, no. Gemflower, no. Moon Whisper, potentially Flitter the Fleet. Moon Whisper, Silver Frond, Oaken Heel, I don't like that. Night Breeze, not really. Moonbrook, Gold Petal, no. Moon Whisper. We're going to go with Moon Whisper. And I'll write your the name that you've provided with. We'll put that in a second. So, Flit the Steel, Flit the Fleet. Flit the Fleet. Okay. So we've got 4 names. I can see the room is starting to fill up a little bit as people come in. As you realise, the first half hour is probably presenting the same slides you've seen before. Okay. So we've got 4 names. And so nobody's super chatted or super stickered $5. So we're not building their NPC today. But what we will do is we will underline that section. And we will move on to a motivation. I'm going to pick out one of these characters that we're going to focus on out of here. Adriana Goldmoon. Oh, yeah. Violet's cousin. Okay, I'll add the name. Adriana Goldmoon. You got another name here. I'll stick it in. Salt Whisper Seawolf. Gosh. Salt Whisper Seawolf. Is that what we were after? Was there supposed to be an H in there or not? Let me know if there was. Okay, so let's move on. Let's do a motivation. I'm going to pick out of here Roland Stormhammer. It is the first one that was presented. So I'm going to go copy. And we're going to go, is that Roland? Roland. Come on. So what was I thinking? Name. Let's just go name. Cut. Nope, undo, wasn't what I was after. I was actually wanted to copy, paste, and we'll use Roland. So, hi, how's it going, Leon Gannett? Okay, so let me just go hashtag, and we're going into motivations. We probably should actually give this this character a race as well. So I will actually type race in a second. Hashtag race. Let's give this this character a race. Okay, I will jump in and I'll drop in the name that you've just put in, Leon Gannett. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you. But we're dealing with Roland. Roland is the character that we're going to deal with today. Okay, and that's that. Undo that, undo that. I think that's got it. No. Bold, underline. Okay, there. Cool. Race. Give us a race, people. Mountain Dwarf. Oh. Okay. Right, so bold. Is it just going to be Mountain Dwarf, Shiner? Is it somebody else got a better idea? Jungle Elf. Does that exist? Does now. Oh dear. Jungle Elf. Okay, so we go... whoops. That won't work. Jungle Elf. I actually like the idea of Jungle Elf. Roland Stormhammer sounds very dwarfy too. So we may even save Jungle Elf for later on. But yeah, Roland, I think, yeah. Let's go with that. Okay, now let me just drop in this name here. Do we have another race that somebody want to consider? We've had Jungle Elf, we've had Mountain Dwarf, and I will just I'm dropping this name before it disappears off my screen. Blah, blah, blah. Awkworth, really? Wow. Okay, so we've got a few names we can use later on. Cool. All right. Well, it looks like it's going to be Mountain Dwarf. It is a Mountain Dwarf. And I will eliminate this. No. I'll take your Jungle Elf idea. Going to cut it. Could be a plain human, but too late. Motivation. We want a motivation for Roland Stormhammer. Now, function, motivation. Let's go with function first. We'll deal with the function first. Hashtag function. Okay, so we want to know what this NPC is actually going to be doing in our adventure function or occupation. Occupation. Did I just screw up the texting for that? Yeah, I may have. Yeah, function, Fred. Function. Hashtag function. Come on, baby. The problem is punching it in on a phone. It's not so easy. Function. There. Send. All right. So we're dealing with function next. We need a function for this character. And I'm going to put... I feel like we might be coming back to... Oh, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how we go. Jungle Elf, maybe. All right. A lawgiver. Sure. Could be a lawgiver. No, I'm not wrong with... Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah. Oops. Let's not do that. Lawgiver. And let's make sure it's not actually... doing this. Let's get rid of that. No bolds, no there. And we want it numbered. So we can have more than one motivation, remember? Remember, we're dealing with the motivation for the outside world, and then we're dealing with the motivation with regard to interacting with the player's characters. So we can have more than one of these in terms of a function. So thank you for that, Pale Rider. Got that down. A shandy merchant. So JP's shandy merchant. Okay, let's do that. Right, got that one. Is there any more? Otherwise, I will do something myself. A gem cutter. I see where you're taking the name Roland Stormhammer, Mountain Dwarf, and so you're working with. Well, no, I'm not going to say no to that. Gem cutter. Yeah, fair enough. Let's just roll that up a bit. Function, official ale guide, quality taster. Could probably do that on the side. Right, here we go. Okay, how did we get that one? Let me guess. It's a dwarf. Dear. No, that's not guild. Why does it want me to? Why does it want to do this? It wants to do something stupid with it. Okay, official ale quality taster. I think we're going to go like this. Official guild ale quality taster. Right, that's more like it. Lawgiver and a shady motivation. Well, I mean, a shady motivation. Do we look? We put a shady motivation on just about every NPC last time. Like, you don't have to have a shady motivation on every single NPC, people. Unless, of course, all your NPCs cannot be trusted, which is why your players kill every single NPC they ever encounter that you make. I suppose that's possible. I will mark down. So shady motivation's not really enough. You have to be specific about that. I think what we will do is we will take the best of these. And I think I'm going to go with gem cutter, shady merchant, gem cutter, lawgiver. Oh, gee, it's a hard choice. It's a hard choice. Motivation. We can't really go to motivation till we get this nailed down, can we? So we have to make a choice. Is it going to be a lawgiver? Is it going to be shady merchant? Is it going to be gem cutter? Is it going to be official guild ale quality taster? I feel like the last one is like we can have that already. Let's just say that's there. Okay. The other three, that's a different story, right? So we're going to take this, and this is definitely going to be part and parcel of your character here. So we're going to go cut. And we're going to definitely put this bit in here, okay? But isn't every dwarf one of these? Big Kid. Hello, Big Kid. How's it going? You like the gem cutter. I think the gem cutter is actually a good idea myself. Because gem cutter and jeweler, I think that's what we're going to do. How often do we actually include a jeweler and a gem cutter in our games? Not very often. I mean, in many cases, we can still include the shady merchant aspect as well. Does that make sense? So let's do that. Let's go with gem cutter and jeweler. Did I spell that right or not? Jeweler. And not bolded. And not like that. No, British English. Thank you. Okay, and then I know that's frustrating for those of you in North America, but seriously, I've got to live in my own country. So gem cutter and jeweler, which is essentially, it makes sense that they are tied together. And we'll put down shady merchant. And we've used most of those ideas. Maybe not all of them, but we've used most of them. And I'm going to actually just put the lawgiver at the end. Like in the end, does it really matter? It kind of, yeah, we'll just cut, paste. Do I need to do that? Do I need to do that? Let me just think about this. No, I'm just going to make a list of it. I'm going to keep all of them. Bugger it. I can keep all of them. I'm allowed to. So we'll just put them all there. It's, no, that didn't work. Why doesn't it look like that? Like, is there a problem? Is there a problem here? Let's go back. Back. There we go. We're going to keep them all. We're just going to add this in. Okay. We got the lot. We'll put the lawgiver at the bottom. That's all. We'll go cut. And we'll put that at the very bottom. Dwarves are old. They can handle this sort of stuff. British English. Stay with British English, people. Okay. So let's have a look. Hello, Overboard. How's it going? And our Joe's got a channel, by the way, if you're unaware, that does miniatures and terrain and stuff like that. Okay. So 1 gems that adds a for damage. It'll pale rider, blah, blah, blah. You guys are having a little chat together, I see. Also supplies spell components like diamonds. I'm not going to go into that detail. Big kid. We're not going to go that deep. We're going to go with motivation, though. We're going to deal with motivation. Yes, he could, but that's up for you to do. If you use the character, that's up to you. So let's go on to, because you're going to get me sidetracked. I know you guys are good at doing that. So motivation. Motivation. Right, so we need a motivation for this character. Have I got it spelt right this time? Okay. Gold. Greed. Well, yes, that's an easy one to put down. We can put that down. It's greed, greedy, and seeks gold. Oh dear, that's a pretty easy one there. but we don't have anything more advanced than that. That's it. Okay, all right, let's just go with a bold underline here. Have we got anything else that might be interesting? Or is that the only one? Armor. Oh, gosh, you guys aren't going to be much good to me today. I can see it now. All right, here we go. Okay. Shrewd business dwarf. I'll put that down. Shrewd business dwarf. How come every dwarf is greedy for gold? Like, is there no other thing? Is that it? Is the only type that type? I feel like the stereotype is setting in just a little bit. To up the value of dwarven. Okay, big kid. So that's a bit more specific. armor. Okay. All right. So yes, up the value of dwarven handiwork. I think it would be a bit more specific, wouldn't it? Improve the value of dwarven. let's say handiwork. Well, gem work. How's that? Is that something? Does that? I don't know how else to say it. I see what you're trying to do there, big kid. I'm just trying to. How's it going, Spirit Wolf? Hello. Motivation could be the hunt for a perfect gem. Ah, it's like hunting for the Pink Panther gem, diamond. Maybe some special type of gem that he's heard of. Okay, well, that's fine. I'm happy to include that. But if we're having a dwarf seek a specific gem, I want the name of the gem and the type of gem. So is it an emerald or a diamond or a ruby or an opal? Opal's very rare. And what it would be called. Like it's, I mean, if we're seeking something like, I like the idea overboard, but we want something a bit more. Find the perfect snack to pair with his ale, maybe cheese. Oh, God. Oh, come on. Craftsmanship. Okay, thank you. Dwarven gem craftsmanship. There we go. Gem. Good. Now that's a much better word. That's what we wanted there. Right, now this gem thing that Overboard was going on about. Find. It's not hunt. Find. Find the... what is it? Find the something. No, we're not going with a halfling grocery merchant right now. We have already moved on. We are now on motivation. This is what we're doing. We're dealing with the Roland Stormhammer. Okay, mountain dwarf. So I'm not taking halfling grocery merchants into account right now. Shiner, yeah. So the craftsmanship thing, I think that covers it. Craftsmanship, craftsman. I spelled it wrong. That's what it is. Find the perfect gem. We don't actually have the name or type of gem though. Like, big question mark there. Diamond of peerless purity. Big kid. Okay, fine. Yeah. Perfect gem. The diamond. And if you don't like this name that you put in, I'm putting it in. And if you don't like it overboard, Joe, you just let me know and you put your own idea in, and I will include it. Of peerless purity. Okay, so now we actually have a specific diamond that he's trying to seek. Diamond of. There we go. All right, so I think it is time for us to start doing some work here. We did this last time. And we need to start dealing with personality traits, ideals, bonds, flaws. So, personality traits. The Crimson Star, a unique ruby. I'll put that in. Okay. So I'm going to shut down that conversation, otherwise it's going to keep going. So we're going to go personality trait. Personality. Personality traits. Send it. Let's go with that. Personality traits now. We know who the character is, and that's what we're dealing with next. Is personality traits. But I will add in. I like the name of the gem you suggested, JP. It belongs to a notorious vampire. Far out. The Crimson. Once he finds his gem and cuts it into a certain way, it can be used to retrieve his brother that was taken to the Shadowfell. Well, I feel like the Crimson Star idea is probably going to do that pretty well. Crimson Star. Unique. ruby that belongs to a notorious it's a notorious vampire that doesn't have a name. Vampire. Might need a vampire name. I'll put that there. And Overboard has provided me with some more information on this aspect of his motivations. So I need to put it in, don't I? You find something in this way. The gem can be used to retrieve his brother trapped in the Shadowfell. I think that's what you're after. Okay. Alright, so let us have a look at the backgrounds. It looks to me like we've gone with an artisan again, so we're going to turn to, this time I'm definitely going artisan rather than the criminal background. So, looking through backgrounds, I'm on page, what is it? Many pages away. It's Guild. Yeah, Guild Artisan is on page 132 of the Player's Handbook. That's where I am right now. So we're dealing with personality traits. I'm going to read out some of these once I catch my breath because I'm losing my voice. No water in that. Uh-oh. Okay, I'll read some of these out, although you could essentially just roll a sodding dice, like an 8-sided dice or a 6-sided dice. I think the personality traits has an 8-sided dice. Ideal. It is wrong to accept less than the quality of work put into something, be they diamond or friendship. God almighty. Big Kid is long as hell. I'm not even bothering. It's way too much. Keep it short. Shorter. Holly, we are not writing a novel. Keep it shorter. Oh my God. Oh dear. You guys have played this game before. Be succinct, yes, but yeah, no novels. Okay. Personality trait. He is always trying to turn any situation into a sale. So he is good. So good that he can sell snake oil to a Yuan-ti. Really? Okay. All right. So, right. So basically we're dealing. You guys are gonna have to trim down, sort of be a bit more succinct. It's like you're writing a lot of information, so it's like it's a personality trait. It's got to fit on the character sheet. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's try to break down what JP's done here. Master salesman, salesperson, master salesperson that can sell anything. See that? That's a short sentence. See that? That's what we're looking for. Like a sentence. With preferably without a comma involved. Right? Like just get the idea in. Okay, let's have a look at what else we've got here. Overboard's got a good idea. Personality trait. He always seems to be staring off into the distance. Almost like he's not paying attention to... He's a daydreamer. Yeah, snake oil salesperson. I will add that at the front of it. That's much better. Okay. Right. That now. So what we were dealing with here for Overboard is we're dealing with he's a daydreamer. Dreamer that Well, what he doesn't... That gets distracted. That gets distracted. Okay, that's good. Nice, much better. Okay, so big kid, an ideal. Things are worth something for a reason. That's much better, big kid. I will put that in. Since even though we are working on personality traits, and I'll give you guys time to put a few more in if you feel inclined. I'm going to read it out from the book anyway as I go through here. We've kind of read this out before, but I will put this one in. Leon Ginnett, secret. You want to put a secret in here? Okay, all right. Spirit Wolf, finished goods or raw materials. I am completely confused by that statement. I don't know what it means, Spirit Wolf. I'm lost as to what is supposed to be going on there. Doesn't value... Oh. Did I just miss something? No, here we go. Ideal. I've typed in the wrong thing. I'm falling behind. What a surprise. Things are worth something for a reason. Good. Okay. Right. We've got an ideal there. We will highlight that. Done. And we may need to come back to that, so I will just go down for now. And then we'll look through here. Secret, we're going to get the secret in. Bear in mind, players get frustrated when every single NPC has a sodding secret. Like, I mean, have them, but if you put secrets in everything, it is just torturous for players. It's not an enjoyable experience sometimes. Roland's mother was a forest elf, making him a dwelf. Oh, God. Who longs for the... No. No. No, no. I like playing half elves and half orcs, and really what they're doing with one D&D with half creatures, races, I don't... it's not. But I'm not doing that. No. Doesn't value people as much as gems. So that is actually a personality trait. I believe you were trying to say there, big kid. No, it says doesn't value. That's a flaw. All right, we're going to flaws. Flaw. Let's go here. I'm going to have to go down, undo that. And we put in the floor, and I'm going to have trouble getting myself up to date here. I can see that right now. Doesn't value. Oh, come, stop it. Jean. Joan, I think it's Joan. Jon, Joan. Hello, how are you? As you can see, I'm trying to catch up with the current stream of a thought that people have. There's gems. Okay, that's a flaw, which is fine. We can have that there. So let's put this there. And I'm not too sure what to do with Spirit Wolf's suggestion. Only because they're plotting on selling off unlucky adventurers to the Night Hags. Sure, yeah. Oh, two different types of salesperson. Finished goods or raw materials. I don't know. Do we need to go into that level of detail? I mean, really? Nah. He's always looking for a starry daydreamer because he is constantly praising everything and everyone. Oh, good Lord. I know you couldn't resist, but I saw the joke. I got the joke. Don't you worry, I got the joke. Okay. Low key then. Heard secrets that they can ransom someone off. That eventually goes to the Night Hags ambitious secretly. Right, that's it. I'm deleting it. No secrets for this character. No secrets for this. We did secrets for the last one and the one before that. This is one where we don't have secrets. Like, I don't want them to hate this character. I want the players to actually like this character rather than want to put them in a hole and bury them. and what we've got right now is potentially moving towards we want to bury them because they are, it's bad enough that they're greedy and seek gold and are a shrewd business dwarf and all the rest. It's hard to like this character as it is. So yeah, so personality traits without making this dwarf a complete ass. Okay. Flaws. Always try. I'm tired. Can't seem to get good sleep. Good. I like that. That actually is very clever. Okay, so flaw. Oh, I just realised what you've done there. It's yourself, isn't it, Joe? I forgot. it's you. You've just taken an aspect of yourself and you've included it into the character. Nice job. Nice job. If I got that wrong, you'll tell me I was an idiot and I got it wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. If I remember based on what you do for a living. Secret. No! Stop. No secrets. No more secrets, people. Okay? Let's have at least one character that doesn't have a sodding secret. Trustworthy, and then some. Okay. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I need to take a break. So I'm going to let you guys nut through some of this stuff. We're going to come back to this thing. So I'm going to give you appearance. Like, because I know you'll go bananas with appearance, which is fine. I'm happy for you to go utterly bat nuts crazy. So I'm going to go highlight appearance and bold it. Okay. So you know what the character is. I'm going to go hashtag appearance of gem cutting mountain dwarf. Let's have some interesting features for this dwarf. I'm going to let you guys do that, right? More hidden secrets. No, stop it with the secrets. No more secrets. Just let's give them give the dwarf an appearance, people. Give the poor dwarf an appearance. Like you've got to call it with that other stuff. I am going to give you over to Arnold Schwarzenegger. So Arnold is going to look after you for 5 minutes while I take a short break, and then I will be back. Okay. So don't go anywhere. I'm not gone. Appearance, mountain dwarf, stone cutter. You know what to do. Oh, holy shit. I can see you guys have been going flat tack. Okay. Well, we're going to have plenty to work with. All right. Thank you, Arnold. I appreciate you taking over for a little while. Let's go to appearance. So I'm going to try to include as many of these things, because I can just imagine what would happen if I plug this into Midjourney, that artificial intelligence program that creates images like it. You could get something very strange. So what have we got here? Shiner 81, beard brown streaked with grey, held in place by emerald gems. Okay, so that's a brown beard streaked with grey and held in place with emerald gems. Emerald. How about emerald combs? I know that seems weird, but I feel like let's stick some combs in there. Emerald. What? How did I get emerald with emerald? Emerald combs. It's like jadestone. Emerald combs. How's that? Is that strange enough for everybody? I think it is. Let's go with this. It's strange and fanciful is the call for today. Okay, dwarf needs a mole. He's got a mole. What sort of mole? A mole on his what? He wants a tattoo on his. Well, you're never going to see the tattoo if it's on his butt. Tattoo on his butt. So first off, what is the tattoo? Yeah, and why is it on its butt? And you're never going to see it unless he's dropping his trousers. And no, it's not on his butt. Put the tattoo somewhere else. Tattoo on his. And what is the tattoo? Joan. Okay, all right, big kid. Appearance has meticulously braided and pleated his hair and beard. Okay. Geometric patterns. Holy cow. Look, I'll go with some of that. Let's do some of that. Meticulous. Meticulously Bluminiac. Braided. Braided and pleated. Isn't it the same thing? Braided hair and beard. I don't know how you'd be able to do it in geometric patterns. You have to explain this to me more, big kid. I'm lost. He always wears a hat. Oh God. Seriously, I get the joke. And only seems to have hair coming out from other. Why? Again, I know where that's coming from. Okay, I'm leaving that. Six fingers on his right hand. Oh, come on, the Princess Bride, really? You've got to be good. I'll put the 6 fingers. Six fingers. It's gonna wind up being a very odd character. I did say go crazy, didn't I? That was a mistake. His hair is red, but his beard is grey. Oh, come on. Really? No. Meticulously braided red hair. Red, not red. Red hair and beard. It's red now. You called for it, but I'm not putting grey. Stick with one colour. Appearance. Shaved head. Oh, now it's shaved beard. Well, it's too late. You know, he's got hair. You can't have shaved and that at the same time. It's not going to work. So, explode in his face. Like a glitter bomb. Oh, good lord. That's kind of like that ridiculous villain in one of the old James Bond movies. Which one? It's not Never Say Never. It's the one with Pierce Bronson with that silly villain has got diamonds stuck in his face. No self-respecting dwarf would be caught dead looking like that. Flung over right shoulder. Okay. Meticulously braided red beard, hair and beard. I'm still wondering what we're doing with this tattoo in the mole. What? He wears boots that have wings sewn on the sides. You don't notice it until his pants raise up. Okay. All right. Okay, you guys are really... Okay, so we're going to have to... Let's see if I can get some Spirit Wolf's idea in here. It's a long braided beard. So meticulously braided red hair and long beard. Long beard. Flung over right shoulder. Okay. Cool, blimey. Alright, let's try to keep up with you people. Braided comb over. Comb over? I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is. I've lost. Oh, here we go. A spiked blue dragon boots. Okay. Wears spiked blue dragon boots. What a freak this guy's going to be. Okay. Tattoo on his nose. No, it's not going on his nose. No tattooing the nose. Leave the nose alone. Come on. Nobody puts a tattoo on your nose. It's not a great place to stick it. Bracelets and stuff. Mole on the neck. Mole is on the neck. Okay. Mole on his... mole on the... Let's say left side of his neck. At least I am sort of catching up to you people. Grows a single here and out. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. We've done the hair. Tattoo is a secret guild symbol. More secrets again. Says, I'm drunk and getting a tattoo. No. Keeps making our dwarves less interesting. The dwarf's pretty interesting already. It's just... So what is the actual picture of the tattoo on him? Tattoo on his bicep? Okay. On his bicep. More like it. Oh dear. Bicep of what? What is it of? Hello, Agile Monk. So Agile Monk is a patron, by the way, people, for those of you who don't know. How's it doing? A comb is what President Trump has. A comb. I couldn't care what Trump has. If he's got a comb somewhere, I just put a comb in there. Emerald comb. Where they can shave away it easily because they're right-handed. A gem dragon. There we go. There we go. That makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. Okay. tattoo on his oh god, right, left, on both biceps. How's that? We'll put on both sides, on both biceps. Of a gem dragon. That, I think, is probably sufficient for what he looks like. Okay? Before he can wind up looking like a clown, because he could very easily wind up going that way. A nose no. Tongues? Really? Tongs. Cool, blimey. What if I'd written down tongues, not tongs? Hello, Lauren. How's it going? Always wears plated gloves, and gem shards are sharp as his Control R2. We can't always be wearing plated gloves. He's got to go to bed at some point. He's got to make dinner and so forth. It doesn't make any sense. Comb over. Is what one of you was trying to explain. No, I get what you're trying to say. I get it. They've been taking the piss a little bit, okay? A jeweled nose ring. I'll give you that. A jeweled nose ring. That is the end of his appearance. We're going to move back to the other stuff, okay? Jeweled nose ring. Did I even get that spelt right? Jeweled. No, I don't want an English. I want spelling that I understand. Okay. When you guys on Patreon look at it and say Fred can't spell, it's because I'm from New Zealand. Okay, don't use modified English. Okay, commoner. It's going to be a commoner. We're going to keep that nice and simple, and we'll go back. We're going to do some of the other stuff here. So where is it? Bold, underline. Let us deal with. We were dealing with personality traits, ideals, bonds, flaws. We've got a few flaws already, which I think are quite good. We don't have a bond. We don't have ideals. No, we're not putting it's like giving him he's not only is he the three-fingered man from The Princess Bride, he's going to wind up like Michael Jackson with the glove. Or Thanos with the sodding glove. I feel that's where we're heading. so we're oh geez, you guys make me laugh. Anyway, let's just deal with bonds. No, personality traits. Let's go back to personality traits. I feel like we're going to get one character done today, and it's going to be this one only. Which is fine. God help me, somebody can build it on Hero Forge and send me an image on Discord, and I'll stick it into the document if you're inclined. Let's do the personality trait. Right, so here's what I had under Guild Artisan. I think what you've got here is actually very good so far. And we can pick and choose from here. What do we got here? I believe that anything worth doing is worth doing right. I can't help it. I'm a perfectionist. I'm a perfectionist, actually kind of works for a dwarf, so we can add that in. That's fine. I'll put that in there. I'm a snob who looks down on those who can't appreciate fine art. Really? I suppose you could, but we need to do that as well. No, not really. I always want to know how things work and what makes people tick. Let's leave that alone. I'm full of wit and proverbs. I am rude to people who lack my commitment to hard work and fair play. I like to talk a lot at length about my profession. I don't know. You let me know if that seems like that would work for this character. What's the character's name? It's Roland Stormhammer. Roland Stormhammer. Okay. I don't part with my money easily and will haggle tirelessly and get the best deal possible. We kind of have established that he's a salesman and greedy. I'm well known for my work, and I want to make sure that everybody appreciates it. Blah, blah. I think we're going to go with a perfectionist one. And I will see what you guys have put down for personality traits in a second. I'm a perfectionist. What else do we have here? But they has oculate gems, magic boots in some freaky fashion. Yeah. Addicted to tanning. Worships the Morning Lord. Okay. So what am I doing here? Worships the Morning Lord. I think you're trying to do something else here that I'm unaware of. Bond. I'm going to put it under bond. I'm not getting rid of that. Well, come on, Fred, get it right. Worships the Morning Lord. Did I get it? It is. It's in. Okay. Let's make a space. Let's start looking at what else we got here. Addicted to tanning. Addicted to tanning? Tanning? I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with that. I have a mob associate NPC I need made. Big Kid. Well, look. If we get this done fairly quickly, we can make your mob boss. Okay? Otherwise, I don't know what to say about this one right now. But right now we're going to work on this one until it's mostly done, okay? Because that seems like a sensible thing to do. Personality traits. I think we've actually got enough. Like, if we do too much, it's going to wind up being silly. I like the fact that he's a daydreamer. I like that he's sort of like a master salesperson. Let's move on to ideals. Like, let's do that. And I already offered at the beginning of the stream, when we were doing this, anybody who did a super chat of $5 or super sticker of $5 would make their NPC, their non-player character. But we're going to be out of time. We won't have enough time to do it. So let's do ideals. Come up with some ideals. Don't get too crazy, people. Okay, so we're adding this to personality traits. Okay. Will not haggle. On prices. Okay, I think that's what you were trying to say there. Ideals. Let's have a look at some of the ideals here. And you'll let me know if you like them or you'll add some that you prefer. Okay? And yes, we'll see how we go. Okay, ideals that are listed here on this chart. There's only 6 of them. Oh, we've already got a whole lot of things coming through here. I can see that people already started to think, what are we going to do? I'll read these out very quickly and then you can just keep writing. Community. It is the duty of all civilized people to strengthen the bonds of community and the security of civilization. Lawful. I don't think so. Generosity. I'm not even reading that out. Freedom. Everyone should be free to pursue his or her own livelihood. Chaotic. Greed. I'm only in it for the money. Well, could be. People. I'm committed to the people I care about, not to ideals. Neutral. And then aspiration. I work hard to be the best there is at my craft. So I think greed is sort of where we're heading. So that's what I'm going to put here. So we're dealing with ideals right now. So I'm going to put in greed. It seems to fit with what we've been doing so far. And then I'll look at the chat and we'll add what we need to. Okay, so let's have a look at what we've got here. Wants to do one thing to his perfectionist satisfaction. Wants to do one thing to his perfectionist satisfaction. I don't understand what that means. for an ideal. I don't understand what that means. Agile Monk, this PC is a town city coordinator for all. As an ideal, I think no. So if you're wanting to know what this character is, it is a mountain dwarf, Roland, Stormhammer, greedy, seeks gold, shrewd business dwarf, improve the value of dwarven gem craftsmanship. That's motivation. Find the perfect gem. We've got a whole bunch of them that we've included here. Function is going to be a shady merchant, which is in fact a gem cutter and jeweler, and also the official guild alien, guild ale quality taster, a lawgiver, and personality traits we've kind of established. So I think we're caught up. So yeah, if you're wondering where we were at, this is where we're at so far, Monk. Ideals. Measure thrice, cut once, get the gems or the orcs. Oh. Okay. I see what you're trying to do there. I get it. Leon Garnett, you score extra points for thinking. That's actually very, very clever. I had to put it in multiple chats. Oh dear. Yes, I've lost the meaning as a result, unfortunately. Measure thrice. And cut once. Okay. Be that gems or orcs. That's very, very clever. Nice job. Okay. Of the guild, tries to find out what PCs need and want, so he does his best to drive them to the right location. Okay. And see he can identify special. Alright, so. Alright. Okay. So motivation, this is actually what you're trying to do here, is you're trying to add in a motivation for the characters, which is actually not something we have. We've got a lot of other stuff going on here. Wants to know the character's goal and assist them. So this is how we create an NPC that the characters won't kill. Okay. All right, let's do that. Okay. I'm trying to read it all. I am. It's difficult to try to. Yeah, I a little bit lost if it's spread over multiple entries. Okay, John, what do you got here? If the tester for the guild, shady cutting, looking for basically magical gems that have. Let's stay with the ideals. Stick with the ideals, people. Like let's stick with ideals. Otherwise, we're going to wind up going off in some other funny tangent, which we do often when we're doing these sorts of things. And I know that's fun. The chat is buggy. Sorry. Okay. I don't think it is. I think I made that secondary. It's like one of the least important aspects, but probably very important for the players. I know, I see what you're saying with regard to that aspect. Lawgiver. Or master. Of, what do you call it? Master of something. I don't know. Okay. I see where we're going here. Yeah, I'm just going with it. I'm just trying to keep the movement going. If people put in entries that are short enough and easy enough for me to kind of grasp, I can put them in. Otherwise, it just kind of gets lost. Okay. So, I feel I'll feel like okay, an ideal seeks to feel like perfectionism bleeds over into the aspects of... Okay, so that's... look, we've got that. I think, look, let's ideals, what we've got here. There. Things are worth something for a reason. Let's do bond. Thank you, Agile Monk, for the super chat, super sticker. No, your input is good. If what you should have done is you should have been the focus of the character we built when we started this, and now we're like going to be out of time, which is a shame. So let's do this. Hashtag bond. Let's get the bond down, people. Bond. Master of identification of magical items. Nicely. And lawgiver and. Because this is actually bound to be something they would find useful. In master of the identification of magic items. All right, you get a big thumbs up. Two. That's a really good idea. Blade Roberts, hello, Blade Roberts. I'm pretty sure Blade Roberts is it Robert Moore or Blade Roberts? I'm sure you are a patron. I keep getting it wrong. Like there's a few Roberts who are patrons on Patreon now. If I am right, you'll let me know. Blade Roberts, Robert. You'll let me know. Let me get this down. So we've got this. That's actually good. I like that. We now have a character, although they've got some sort of quirks and so forth to them, they do have redeeming factors to them. So it's not a character that will get pushed off a cliff very quickly. Okay. It's a secondary RPG quest giver dwarf NPC for it. Yeah, I can form. So remember, we're focusing on trying to get the bond sorted out. I did put in the word bond. Is it gotten lost? Ideal? Did I type in bond? I'm sure I did. Yeah, we're on bond. Stay a while and listen. Stay a while and listen? How does that work? All right, let me read out some of the bonds that I got here. Okay, got it right. Thank God for that. Okay, all right. Blade Roberts is a patron. I was pretty sure. I'm pretty sure there's a Blade Roberts and there's a Robert Moore and yeah, okay. So let's go with bonds. I'll read out some of these and then you'll tell me if you think they suck or you have something better that we can add in there. Okay? So, the workshop is where I learned my trade. It is the most important place in the world to me. We kind of use that for Iron Shelley. I don't want to use that one. So I'm not even going there with that one. I created a great work for someone and then found them unworthy to receive it. I am looking for someone worthy. I owe my guild a great debt for forging me into the person I am today. I actually like the idea of I owe my guild a great debt, but what is that debt? I pursue wealth to secure someone's love? No. One day I will return to my guild and prove that I am the greatest artisan of... No. I will get revenge on the evil forces that destroyed my place of business and ruined my livelihood. It seems an awful lot that's going on there. Don't you think? I think we go with I owe my guild a great debt and I'm still trying to pay it off. I owe I owe my guild, oh gosh, a great debt. How the hell is somebody supposed to make an image of a dwarf the way it appears that we've got there? I don't know. Could you even do that on Hero Forge? I'm not sure. Is it even possible? Is it possible? Okay, so let's think here. A great debt that I am still trying to pay off. Right. Bond. He is pursuing wealth to secure a noble dwarf maiden's love. We had that last time. And no, it's not Agile Monk's cousin. Yeah, JP, I should have guessed. You guys always want to stick this sort of stuff in. I was like, what? NPCs are direct communication with the table, so their bond with the players can cement a narrative for the adventure. Yes, so the kind of question. Yep. The ring I carry around my neck once had a twin, and now it remains alone. And so do I. Oh, he owes his brother a debt. Okay. I owe my guild brothers a debt, and I'm still trying to pay it off. Right. He's probably got brothers that are on the guild. Let's put that in. I think that works. Okay. Let's try to tidy this up, and we're going to move to floors. So they need quests. Yes, I get what you're saying here. I'm also thinking in terms of we are running out of time. So floor. So we have actually got a few floors. Okay. But I'm happy to put in a few more. If you can come up with some good ones that sort of make it all work. So let me just take that and put that there. Now I just need to make sure I get this right. Bond. Okay. And I carry around my ring. Once belonged to my twin brother. Okay, here we go. Yes, I do that. We're doing that. Leon Gannett, we're putting that in. I am putting that in. The ring I carry around my neck once belonged to my dead twin brother. Okay, I think that is it. Okay, I think that's where that was going. That picky, very satisfying. Always a... So, yes. So, yes, the tomfoolery. There's a lot of tomfoolery. I'm also hoping that you guys will have some use for these. I know Iron Shelley got used by Big Kid, but and he made the image too, which was great. Oh, that's the all right. Okay, I see what you're saying. That's the floor. That's good. Nice one, Lauren. Here we go. J. Lauren, let's put that down. Let's forget about the magic ring thing. We're not giving him a magic ring. Magic rings on NPCs result in NPCs dying very quickly, or getting them stolen from player characters. They cannot help themselves. It's like a moth to a flame. If you have a flame there, moth goes, oh look, and flies towards it and then kills themselves. Whereas players, oh, magic stuff that somebody else has got and it's not mine. Give it to me. Don't give it to me. Die. No, we're not going there. But I'm putting this other thing down. Nitpicky. And never satisfied. Got to spell it right though. Satisfied. Nice and short and sweet. I think that got it nicely done. Yeah, I feel like the quest could be its own thing, but this NPC doesn't necessarily be... Look, you guys can do that. What I want to do is I want to make it something that's interesting, something that you would like to include into your game, and something that isn't just like another dwarf, right? And there are some very stereotypical aspects to this dwarf, frankly. But, you know, it's going to happen. He has to sacrifice said amount of gem dust every 4 months to neutralize a disease. Oh, sheesh. That's some serious stuff. Okay, I feel like we're going to have to keep. I'm going to have to downplay the. What do we need to do with this character now? I feel like most of it is done. And the more and more I open it up to conversation, the more and more crazy it gets. Okay, all right. I'm going to put down the last thing here that somebody just put in. The disease thing is interesting. Okay. Spirit Wolf, I'm certainly very, very interested. Yeah, I'm going to leave some aspects vague. Like, you know, there's some stuff you can build on. So, okay, so let's get this last little bit in here. He uses, okay. Gem dust every 4 months to neutralize a disease. Do you know why I like this idea, Spirit Wolf? Because it means that if you have characters with something like a paladin who can get rid of diseases, or you're dealing with something that requires the use of is it lesser restoration that gets rid of disease, then it means that the player characters can potentially get rid of one of his flaws if they ever discover that he has the problem. They can't really change the other aspects of his life because that's built into him. This is something that he has that is probably not of his own making. And so that actually means that they can interact with that. I really like that idea. I think that's very clever. Okay, so I think we have a reasonable character. There's quite a lot going on here. It isn't a super simple one. I'll put all these names down the bottom somewhere, and yeah, like I said, if somebody feels inclined to make the character up on Hero Forge, go for it. I don't know if that'll get time myself, but if I do, I would. You still think Alpha's a class? Let's not, yeah. Well, it's the hero disorder. I'm going to be unspecific about the disease. Okay, I feel like that might be heading us down the wrong track. So yes, remember this brown beard streaked with grey, held in place with emerald combs. No, it's a red beard because we actually had red beard here somewhere, didn't we? Yes. Straight red beard. Red beard streaked with grey comb, mole on his left side of his neck, tattoo on both biceps of gem dragons. Meticulously braided red hair and long beard flung over right shoulder. Wears spiked blue dragon boots and has 6 fingers on his right hand and a jeweled nose ring. Nose. Sorry. Nice ring? How did you get a nice ring? Nose. All right. Nose ring. All right. There we go. I missed Dino Cancer tonight. Oh, no. Okay, I think that is sufficient. Roland Stormhammer is a character. What a character it is. Anyway, we made it. That's the main thing. That's the absolutely important aspect, is we actually made it. Okay, so now that we've done all of this, this has been it's always fun and nutty, and I'm always sort of curious as to how it will all turn out. The good thing is that all I need is an image, and the difficulty of getting this to Patreon is just about finding time to upload it, essentially, because it's mostly done. Dinomancer's here. Hello, Dinomancer, who's also a patron. Welcome, welcome. All right, let me wrap things up for today. And, sorry, I meant to say, tomorrow I'm running my first beginner character creation live stream. So it's intended to be a live stream for building a wizard for beginners, okay? And so if you have players who are new and need to learn how to build characters, rather than spend all the time trying to figure it out and do it with them yourself, send them to that live stream tomorrow, okay? Because I will do it there. And it's not a power build, it is just the essentials, okay? I decided to pick the wizard is the first one because it's one of the hardest ones to do. So I had to break it down and make it super simple. And so you can be assured I won't be telling them power build stuff, because I don't give a toss about that stuff. Okay, that's what's happening tomorrow. Okay, let's get over here for now and sign us out. Okay, I'm going to say it now. Thank you to my patrons for supporting me so that I can actually do these sorts of things. Thank you to all the people who take part and watch my live streams and my edited videos. It really does make a big difference by doing that. And also, I want to thank everybody who participated today, because it really did make a big difference. Having participation and people in the chat makes all the difference. Otherwise, this is a complete waste of my time if that wasn't going to be taking place. Okay, if your ideas were not put into the document, don't worry about it. Okay, because if you're on Patreon, you can change everything that you don't like. It will be an open source document, so it won't be something that's locked or anything like that. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, the night, or the wee early morning, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours, and hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.